Shortly, schools all across the country will be preparing to welcome back in-person learning this fall. But a closer look inside the Department of Education's new handbook exposes an alliance that every parent should know about. What is that alliance? Fox News correspondent Aishah Hasnie reports right now. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Steve. You know, it's a very important question that really every parent and teacher should be asking, right? The money, where does it go? Well, some of the money we found out goes to tried and true programs to help kids back on their feet. But Fox News also found other dollars of that fund might go to activists who want to send white teachers to anti-racist therapy.
After a turbulent year of protests and COVID lockdowns, America's children are heading back to school, and there could be new lessons to learn. President Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan authorized $122 billion to the Department of Education for state education agencies. 90% of that money will go to local school districts, which in turn must reserve at least 20% to address the learning lost during the last school year. The administration asks they do that by using evidence-based programs like summer learning and after-school activities. But that's not all. Inside the Department of Ed's COVID-19 handbook called Roadmap to Reopening Safely and Meeting All Students' Needs, the department recommends schools use some of the money towards race and social emotional learning. The manual offers a direct link to a group called the Abolitionist Teaching Network, who will help schools transform.
Abolitionist Teaching Network, a network that is dedicated to not creating new schools or reimagining schools, but destroying schools that do nothing but harm Black and brown children.
Dr. Bettina Love, an author and activist, created the Abolitionist Teaching Network in 2020 to develop and support educators to fight injustice within their schools and communities.
If you don't realize white supremacy is in everything we do, then we got a problem.
Love wants white teachers to undergo anti-racist therapy to stop them from what she calls spirit murdering Black and brown students.
So one of the things that I bring to this work is a significant history of trying to trouble my own racial identity and trying to help other white teachers trouble their internalized white supremacy and anti-Blackness.
We also found the group hired paid activists across the country whose job they say is going into schools to dismantle oppressive structures by mapping, canvassing, building groups and coalitions, creating media and propaganda.
Education cannot save us. We must save education.
I want us to be feared.
For example, if teachers find school uniforms to be oppressive, ATN would send in their activists to help abolish them.
You call us, we will fund an activist in residence, and he or she or they will find out how. They will do the research, they'll do all the organizing, teachers and parents show up, and we dismantle. And we hope to have hundreds of them around the country doing this work.
Love has a history of making controversial statements on Twitter, like this tweet from 2020, in which she writes, "Mediocre, greedy, rich white men are killing us." It's unclear how the Department of Ed chose ATN as the resource for race and social emotional learning. Although Biden's Deputy Education Secretary, Cindy Martin, is an advocate of Bettina Love. Last fall, while she was still superintendent at San Diego schools, Martin invited Love to train teachers to stop spirit murdering Black students.
And what's interesting is that there is a legal disclaimer from the Department of Ed that says any resources or links they do offer, quote, do not necessarily reflect the positions or policies of the department. We did reach out to the department and ATN, but have not heard back from either. Steve?
All right. Aishah, thank you very much. Very interesting stuff. Join us right now. First time we've had somebody in studio on the couch with us in over a year, Lawrence Jones. Lawrence, good morning to you.
Thanks, guys. I know that's a lot for you guys to process. Our investigative team has been working on this for weeks.
It's
very
fascinating
detailed.
because everybody wants to reopen the schools. And so the government has put out this handbook on how to do it. But then tucked away, it says to help with race and emotional learning, they just mentioned this one group, the Abolitionist Teaching Network, which it sounds like has a connection to the Deputy Secretary of Education.
That's exactly right. And ATN, you know, this is not a conversation about reform. The big question parents that are at home that are watching this package should ask themselves, are they okay with reforms, or do they want to be just like this group that want to burn down the system?
And they have said that specifically.
They said that very specifically in the video. These are brilliant people. They know exactly what they're doing. And the big question as well, Brian, should activists be in the classroom? Miss Love had another statement that I want to play for you guys that our team grabbed. And this just shows you the picture, the big picture, which is to destroy the system from within. Let's take a look.
I've been teaching now for 19 years, and I've been doing this work of completely disrupting systems in elementary schools and in school systems for those 19 years, making sure that we're teaching SEL through a model of equity.
It's important for a network like this to be diligent and explicit about that fight against white supremacy.
So a lot of people have been talking about CRT, a lot of these progressive policies that are now embedded within schools and in the culture. And this is why I say it's hard to get rid of it, because it's already there. They've been teaching it for a while. As she says, I've been teaching for 19 years and I've been putting this stuff out. These are activist teachers that have a doctrine that they believe in that they're now promoting to other teachers.
While in denial. When you ask or watch other networks, they say CRT doesn't exist. It's made up by Republicans looking to find something to run against for political reasons. When they push on this curriculum, they say, we didn't tell you to click on that hyperlink. We didn't tell you that's part of it. That's a choice.
Well, what I would say is not just CRT. It's a progressive worldview. It's a Marxist worldview. It's a belief that America cannot be reformed. You can't fix some of the issues that we may have, that you got to burn the system down. And that's what they truly believe. And so another thing I'll say about this is that you see a conversation here, just like with Black Lives Matters, where people have legitimate grievances and they want to come to the table and talk about those issues, but the organization itself is very flawed. We see this in Cuba right now. The Cuban people who stood with Black Lives Matter, they said, why aren't you standing with us? We thought that you wanted justice for black people. We are Afro-Cubans. And you know what they say? Well, it's really not communism there. Socialism has been good for you. And so you see this infighting. People believe in this stuff, but they really don't know what the people stand for, and that's where the chaos is.
Lawrence, my question is, this is the Department of Education with a recommendation for opening up our schools, talking about COVID, and then if you scroll through the email that I guess was sent out to 74,000 school districts, you scroll down to page 9, and then there's this section with that hyperlink, and you click on it, and it's to this organization. What does that have to do with reopening our schools?
It doesn't, but they use race as a guide, and as Aishah correctly pointed out, they put at the bottom of the page. But look, this doesn't necessarily reflect our viewpoint.
So why do you put it in there?
But why do you put? And that's the only link that gives them some sort of guidance. Like I said, guys, we can't run from this at this point. There's staffers, there's teachers, there's people that are in academia, thought leaders that are everywhere now putting this in the schools, and it's just not a matter of banning it. The question is, what do parents do back at home? Right. They need to look at what their kids are reading, and you got to beat them to the punch. Have these conversations at home.
You got to beat your school to the
That's
punch?
Exactly right.
The problem is you don't know, you send your kids to school and you trust that the teacher's going to be teaching them something you agree with.
That's exactly right. And they're not. You cannot just put the burden on the teachers. Right. And so the audience, they're probably freaking out right now because they've heard about this and they're wondering if their kids, they can email us at friends@Fox News, and if they have syllabuses, examples, bring it to us. Our research will pick it apart and see if this is a part of that network.
Lawrence, don't you think, given now that this has been revealed just now for the first time, that parents need to ask the school districts, hey, are you consulting with this Abolitionist Teaching Network for social justice?
They need to ask the schools, but they need to also ask the teachers, because as you see, this teacher said that I've been doing this for 19 years. So it's not a matter, you think we heard about CRT 19 years ago? Exactly. So these are people that are already there. They recruit these teachers. They teach them this philosophy. And again, I continue to say, reforms need to happen, but it's interesting enough, this group is anti-teachers, anti-school choice, but they're pro-teachers union.
And
so this is...
The students want to get an A, and the teachers want to keep their job.
Yep.
So do they have to go along with this in order to keep their job, and they have to go along with this in order to get an A. And that's where they're going to need some help from the outside to help with the curriculum.
Well, it's not just that, it's the kids as well. And as I reported on in Loudoun County, the kids aren't turning on the teachers, they're turning on their parents. The burden of proof is the parents now. The parents have to prove that this is wrong now. So that just shows you.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, Lawrence. Excellent job.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. We're coming all day.
We'll continue to do this all morning.
And we haven't heard from the Department of Education. Have they
After
said anything?
multiple times reaching out to them over a period of weeks.